Have you noticed
I have noticed. Oh my God.
that Roman Reigns tends to win a lot via outside interference?
He only wins by outside interference. And this is my complaint. Like going into the crown jewel match with LA Knight, I said they can't just do the same thing that they've done against Sammy, against Cody, against Kevin Owens, against the Repo Man, against Demolition's Smash, against the Beverly Brothers.
He knows what he did.
Where it's just like the baby face has the match all won, and then Jimmy Uso, and it's the bloodline, and so it's every single match we've had. Like in storyline, Reigns is the champion, but like 7 other wrestlers are better than him and would have beat him if it wasn't for outside interference. And I think they are very much overusing that as a finish.
I would agree, but WWE tends to get stuck in stuff like that sometimes. Like, if I never see another small package roll up out of nowhere because someone played someone's music, it will be far too soon. And they used to do that multiple times a show every week. So sometimes they get stuck in it. Now, that was Vince's WWE. This is Triple H's WWE. So maybe there will be less of that. And it just seems that way because the other thing is that I think that they may be getting to a point where they've built Roman too strong and they can't really justify anyone beating him clean. And this is just the easiest way to do that.
It's the easiest way.
It prolongs the story because you've got Roman still out there claiming he's the best, but eventually someone like you or I goes, wait a minute, he's always losing because of outside. Is he really the best? And then you have a story to tell there. So, I mean, I don't know if that's part of the plan or if they're just kind of like, you know what, everything else is kind of rocky right now. Roman is the one constant. Let's just stick with what works. And we will figure out the next sort of leap in that story when we figure it out. Because I honestly believe that God bless the WWE because they fall for it every time. But I honestly think they believed that The Rock was going to be able to work WrestleMania.
And no, they were very hopeful that The Rock was going to make WrestleMania. It didn't work out, but it was their A choice and Cody was their B choice.
Yeah, because Roman also would not lose to The Rock, but the idea of Roman beating The Rock clean would definitely punch up that character again.
You're right.
So, and then, but they are getting close to it. They're not at it yet, but they're getting close to it where they've built Roman strong enough that it becomes illogical that anyone on the roster currently beats him. And I don't know who you bring in or bring up to beat him.
I mean, I think it's Cody that beats him. I've kind of looked at this and I can see the point. Like some people are saying, oh, well, LA Knight's, hotter right now. And like the guy I'm putting my stock in on the babyface side of things in WWE is Cody Rhodes. Nothing against LA Knight. I think LA Knight is going to do fantastic, but and you know what? 3 years down the road, LA Knight might be the guy who has the big dramatic victory in WrestleMania. But I like the story of Cody losing at WrestleMania to Roman before he beats him. I think that's a cool story for Cody because I think in a way it represents his career as a whole. Cody lost before he won. He came into WWE. He wanted to be John Cena. He was not given that opportunity. He was said, you're a mid-card intercontinental guy. He said, no, I want more. Quits, bets on himself. Like this whole story is him being told no or losing and coming back and always believing in himself. And it's just this feel-good morality play that I think is made even better by the fact that he lost at WrestleMania, right? So I've even said, I was like, I could even do 3 or 4 straight Roman versus Cody WrestleManias before Cody actually beats it, because the story to the audience is, look, this guy got beat down and beat down and beat down, and he should have just stayed down, but he had so much passion that he never gave up, and he eventually accomplished his goals. Like, that's the cool, epic, multi-year long story that I think we're getting, and that, like, I hope we're getting, because I think it would be really cool.
Yeah. It is a wrestling story that's been told before, because wrestling stories have all been told before. But this one does not come up. They're very careful with this one. And it's the, Mick Foley winning the title. It's the Sami Zayn and NXT winning the title. It is the creation of this, like, ultimate underdog who is just doing the best he can, and God, he deserves it so bad, and he keeps getting screwed or beat or whatever, and he just can't quite touch it. And then finally, when he does, it's just like, I remember when Sami Zayn won the title off of Neville, or Pac, as he's known, in NXT. I was out of my seat. I was so excited because the build up to it was fantastic, and with him losing and losing and losing. So sometimes you do have to lose to go forward. Like, look, Mick Foley, no one ever told him that he could do it. Mrs. Foley's baby boy and all that good stuff. He was never meant to be champion, so you really, really rooted for him. To be champion. And this is where I think that I don't know if a guy like LA Knight has the longevity, because he's very popular now. But, like, he's very popular as, like, a rock star wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't seen the human side of him yet.
Yeah, well,
that's I think what makes them the big long-term baby faces.
Yeah. And I think, like, it seems weird to say, but, like, I think maybe fans don't know LA. Like, we haven't gone on a long journey with LA Knight yet. Like, he's been on TV for like 15 years, but, like, nobody, like, it's,
as
like,
we all know, nothing happened before you got to WWE.
to WWE. But the difference being, like, with Cody, we've seen his whole career, and we've seen the path that he's on, and like, beating Roman as the end goal makes so much sense. It is such a perfect ending to this story, and and obviously the tagline is finish the story. Another one, like, so you were talking about Sami Zayn beating Pac. Earlier, we talked about how I had managed to convince myself that Sami Zayn was going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, but, like, after I realized that I was a foolish person and that this was not going to happen, I started to think, is Sami Zayn ever going to win the world championship? And not like Seth's secondary world championship.
I feel so bad at even saying it, but we're all thinking it.
We're all thinking it. Like, when you have two world title belts, like, there's one that's positioned over the other most of the time. And in this case, it's very much Roman's is the important title, and Seth's is the title for those that have already lost to Roman.
It becomes the important title because Roman's important.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And that's the thing, right? And you can't just put out another belt and be like, see, it's a world title too, because, like, I got one of those hanging in my office as well. Like, it doesn't mean anything until you make it mean something.
Yeah.
And, I almost, like, we got the tournament for this. The last Saudi show was the tournament finals to crown this champion, wasn't it? Yeah. And so Seth has been the champion since then.
Yeah.
And some of the programs have been better than others. I liked him and Nakamura.
I did. I liked him and Nakamura. Yeah.
But, like, at the same time, nothing's been done to elevate it. Like, he got it. He hasn't taken it to the next level yet because there's no level to take it to.
I feel like he's trying to do like an intercontinental world championship type thing. And so the main thing is, like, these having, like, really, really good matches, which is, Seth Rollins is an excellent wrestler. I thought he had some great matches with Nakamura. I thought his match with Drew at Crown Jewel was really good too. like that match had all these like crazy near falls where like for a split second I'd be like Drew McIntyre is going to win the title, and then Seth would kick out. I was like, nah, that's ridiculous. Drew's never going to win the world title here.
Again,
So you know,
he may have won it a couple times already. But, yeah.
well, yeah, but like I just didn't think that Seth was being it. But okay, so like Roman having made that title so important, there are guys that are super over baby faces who they'll win Seth's title, but they'll never win the top title. And I'm wondering if Sami Zayn ever does win that title. Like a lot of people in Montreal thought he was going to do it, Elimination Chamber. I don't know that he does.
Well, if you're going to have long-term champions again, like they used to, then you're going to go through periods where no one gets to be that top person.
Yeah.
You know, and that might just be the nature of the beast. And that's kind of what I mean when I say like they're making it almost too monolithic to be able to defeat Roman.
Yeah.
Like there's no one, and there's no one coming up that we're like, yeah, in 3 years that guy is gonna be, he's gonna be something to worry about, you know, like, and there doesn't seem to be anyone who they're looking to position at Roman's level. You know, and that's the other thing. Like, you know, The Rock and Steve Austin were at the same level. The Rock and John Cena were at the same level when they had their sort of big WrestleMania title year-long feuds and stuff like that. Roman's up here, and there is no one else like near him.
Yeah.
To the point where they had to make a title that was, they might as well have called it the not Roman title. Like, because he doesn't need it.
You know, when you think about it though, like Roman's title reign, he might only have like one more successful defense, like because he's got the Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania. Those are his next matches. He's not going to be at Survivor Series, so I think he very likely loses it at WrestleMania 40 to Cody. That's what if I was to place money on it, that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So like that we're getting to this part where it's like, well, now no one feels like they're on Roman's level, where like you can feel people are starting to be like, okay, all right, maybe it's time to move on from this. That we're just getting to that point now, and it's probably going to end.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So it really does like show like this has been a very entertaining storyline for a long time, because like look, in 4 months or 5 months, Roman's probably going to lose and go away for a long time, right? So the end is near. Like obviously Roman, the bloodline, all that stuff's going to come back, do amazing things, but this 2-year-long chapter could very well be in its closing months.